play. I wanna sing my song. I just wanna run and not be gone too long, 'cause this time is precious still. I wanna keep it close to me. I'm wishing on a star to make more time to see. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. You can always dream. No one's taken that from you. Only you can see it through, just like the way you do. So feed it from your soul and weigh it from both sides. The fulcrum and the tides will give direction that you'll know. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. When you make the time, it's a game of give and take. When the balance is at stake, you need to take a look inside. Look deep into your heart and remember how it feels. It's where the answer lies and tells you what is real. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you.
It won't. Hello, Celebration Center, and welcome. My name is Stephanie Snow. I'm a board member here at the Celebration Center, and this morning I am your host. This gathering is recorded and will be available online. We have a wonderful service planned for you. Please join me in thanking our awesome tech crew who makes all this possible, Ivor and Nico. Woo! Our speaker today is Reverend Faith Woods. Yes, yes. And she's ours. And talented, accomplished Lynn Hollyfield is providing the music, along with her partner in joy, Jen Fay, right? You were singing with her? Yay. And now I would like to welcome Lynn to the stage for our opening song.
All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to sing Thank You for This Day, which is adapted from the Native American tradition by Karen Drucker. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for the earth, Spirit, thank you for the earth. Thank you for the earth, Spirit, thank you for the earth. The beauty of the earth. The beauty of the earth. Thank you for this life, Spirit, thank you for this life. Thank you for this life, Spirit, thank you for this life. I'm grateful 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 for this life.
And now we are going to, let me see where we are. We're going to, Stephanie's saying, wait. The practitioner piece. Stephanie is going to be our practitioner today. Sometimes duty calls and we have to make do. So just join us in taking a breath and making do.
Okay, thank you, Lynn and Jen. I would like you to read our vision statement with me. To awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Even though it's not spelled out there, let's just say it. Our vision is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Yes. And I want to remind you that you can submit prayer requests through, you can fill out a card here. I can't see where the card is, but you can fill it out here, or you can go online and fill it out at our website. And practitioners are available to pray with you. After the service, they can do a short prayer with you, but they are also available for longer sessions by appointment. So I want you to breathe. You are already doing that. I want you to notice your breath. Just notice it, how it just happens automatically. Hearts are beating, cells are growing. So my husband, Harrison, he is a font of quotes, not from him, but from. So sometimes when I have to give a little reading, I just say, Harrison, do you have anything for me to read? And he usually gives me about 3 or 4 things. So I'm going to read 2 of them. So we all, I think all of us here know that Ernest Holmes was not trying to create a religion. He was just taking what he saw as the commonalities, the best of all religions that he saw as he studied the world, and putting all those principles together. So his vision, as I understand it, was that churches would adopt these, but they didn't necessarily, because they said, we got what we got, and we're going with that. Because he was looking at the more mystical side of the different religions, and not all denominations are mystical. So you can find quotes that aren't from Ernest Holmes, but kind of say what he did, but in different words. Ignorance is departure from home, and enlightenment is returning. While wandering, we lead a life full of pain and suffering, and the world wherein we find ourselves is not a very desirable habitat. This is, however, put a stop to by enlightenment, as thus we are enabled once more to get settled at home, where reign freedom and peace. And that is from D.T. Suzuki. And I have another quote. Understanding yourself is power. Loving yourself is freedom. Forgiving yourself is peace. Being yourself is bliss. This is Buddha's teaching. Now I'm going to do a prayer, say a prayer. The presence is here now, and this presence is everywhere always. This presence is eternal and infinite. Some call this presence spirit. Some call this presence God. Some call this presence Buddha nature. And I know as an aspect of this one presence that I am, that we are here, all created as delightful expressions of this eternal infinite presence. We who are in the room now and joining us online here now are together creating a loving, supportive gathering filled with so much good that it overflows into and throughout our world. We are inspiring higher awareness of the oneness of all creation and the awareness of the interconnectedness of our world. There is only one here. I give thanks for the awareness of this one presence, this one life, as I release these words into the world, knowing that it is done, and so it is. Uh-oh. And now, let me see. Let me just make sure I'm at the right page, the right place. I am. I'm inviting Lynn and Jen to sing another song.
Okay, we're going to share. This is an original tune called Just Begin, And I think it feeds into some of the quotes that Stephanie read, those beautiful quotes. So here we go. When you're feeling lost or a little blue, and the world around isn't what you used to, you were all set. Now life shakes that dream, paints an illusion. What does it all mean? Take a deep breath. Now it's a start. Take a leap of faith from your weary heart. Pull out your colors from deep within. An old seed planted, now a flower blossoming. You thought your days ahead would be a little lighter. You thought your steps would have taken you farther. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Like in the night, dawn's around the corner, dark and light. He'll teach you to be stronger. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Don't worry what's been, just begin. Pull out your colors. You might think they're dim, but only your hand can make them blend. See for yourself what's right before your eyes. It's your masterpiece with no disguises. You thought your days ahead would be a little lighter. You thought your steps would have taken you farther. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Like in the night, dawn's around the corner, dark and light. He'll teach you to be stronger. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. You thought your days ahead would be a little lighter. You thought your steps would have taken you farther. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Like in the night, dawn's around the corner, dark and light. He'll teach you to be stronger. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Don't worry what's been. Don't worry, look within. Don't worry where you've been, just begin.
Thank you. And that's Lynn's song, right? Is that your song? Because she's a songwriter as well as a beautiful singer and musician. Now is the time for our community greeting. So what I would like you to do is to turn to your neighbors, and say, I see good in you.
I see good in you.
I see good in you. I see.
I see good in you.
You too.
Yeah.
In there somewhere.
In there somewhere, yeah, right.
I'm going to just say, I'm just going to say something.
Okay, say
And now, without further ado, Reverend Faith Woods.
Oh, it's good to see you today. It's good to see you today. And Lynn's song was one of my favorites. It really sets the tune for just begin. And I was going to say the same thing Stephanie said. It's her song, and how blessed we are to have that. All right. for people online, we welcome you here too. And if you have any questions for us, please put them in the chat and our technical crew will either answer them for you or send them on for someone else to answer. The rule is you can never ask a question that I can't answer. So that's the only rule. So our topic today is a big one. It's called opinion, fact, or truth. Sounds kind of like a game show, doesn't it? Opinion, fact, or truth. 3 simple words, and yet our lives and our relationships and even our spiritual community can rise or fall on how well we tell these things apart. So we have come to this moment, this particular point in the life of our center, this particular point in the state of our world, and this point in our individual journeys. And although we walk together, each one of us is seeing all of this through a slightly different lens. I cannot see through your eyes, and you cannot see through mine. I cannot hear through your ears, and you cannot hear through mine. And yet we come together and we chat and talk. And when we serve, when we witness, when we give one another credit, we witness other strengths, it can feel like we're seeing the world the same way. It feels comforting to know that we see the world the same way and to believe that we have the same views and the same values and understandings. Doesn't it? It feels comfortable when we're there. But sometimes one small piece of information comes along, enters the room, and suddenly the whole picture just shifts and spins around. One sentence, one discovery, one vote, one conversation we did not expect, and suddenly our world tilts. Have you ever had that experience? Yeah. And where you thought you were completely aligned with someone, and then there's a single opinion or a misunderstood fact or a core truth that you each hold differently. It created a fracture. Have you ever had that one where everything just totally was gone? So it can be painful. It can be disorienting. And if we're really honest, sometimes it's even devastating to us. Many of us have misjudged or distanced ourselves from someone we care about because we're so tightly attached to our own belief that we simply could not or would not entertain another idea. And sometimes it just feels too hard. Sometimes the other person refuses to talk, and sometimes we refuse to talk. I don't offer this as a judgment of any kind because, trust me, I am minding my own weeds and flowers every day. And there are moments when I look back at my time here in the center and I say, I wish I'd been more compassionate. I wish I'd listened more or been more willing. I could have done that a lot better. I can look at my family, my friends, my past relationships and say the same thing. And that brings us today when those of us who are voting members of the board are asked to affirm a new budget at our center. And the board has said clearly we want this center to continue as long as possible. But each member of the board has a little bit different vision of what that is because I can't see what they're seeing through their eyes or hear what they're hearing. So the difference is how do we get there? And that's an interesting thing that we'll be discussing later. So I hope you can stay after service. And those online, it will be online too. Sometimes, don't we all do this? We assume that my vision is your vision. Whatever you want, I'm going to want too. So my ideas of how things should move forward must be the same as your idea. But of course, it's not true. It's not true because now it could be similar. And that's where I'm thinking that some of it can be true. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here at all, guys. Come on. So we discover as a board, as a group, as we come together, that this is either a group effort or it isn't. And my way of serving is very different than yours. Your gifts are different than mine. And how I appreciate your gifts. I appreciate the singers, the dancers, the cooks, the fearless ones, the technical ones, the compassionate ones, the ones who keep us current, and the ones who steady the ship, and the ones who simply show up so that all of this time that we spend together has meaning. So opinions, facts, and truth. Let's ground ourselves in these distinctions. An opinion is what I think. It's personal. It may be some things I've learned from my childhood, my fears, my hopes, or the music I like. If I say classical music is soothing, that's an opinion. It's an opinion. It's my opinion. A fact is what can be measured. A fact is that water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level. And most of us learn that in school and believe that's true. We take it as a fact. Facts can change with information, and they can be checked. Boy, we do a lot of fact checking recently, don't we? Truth, especially spiritual truth, is something much deeper. It is the bedrock underneath everything. Truth does not shift with circumstances. Truth is oneness, love, wholeness, the presence of the divine in every person. Truth is that we are all expressions of the same life. This is our philosophy, and this is what we believe. So spiritual truth doesn't change, but our relationship to it does, because our relationship grows and grows. And as we grow in understanding, our understanding of truth goes with us. So sometimes it seems hard to differentiate, and why? Because information is coming at us so fast these days. So fast. Someone estimates about 34 gigabytes a day, which those words really mean very little to me because I don't really understand what a gigabyte is compared to everything. But I know when I pick up my phone or turn on my computer or watch the TV, I am being hit with all kinds of information. And then I get to choose. Is it opinion, fact, or truth? Is it real, accurate, and thoughtful? Because we live in a world where we're becoming to be bombarded with AI-generated things, manipulated media, and endless opinions, disguised as facts. So it's up to us to be discerning. And true discernment can be a spiritual practice. So at times, the biggest challenge is not choosing between fact and fiction. Fiction is choosing between comfort and courage. Brene Brown writes, when we're faced with information that challenges what we believe, our first instinct is to make the discomfort go away. We don't want to be uncomfortable. And so in those moments of dissonance, we need to stay curious and resist choosing comfort over courage. Because it takes a certain amount of courage to go to take that information and really examine it. She also quotes Adam Grant, who says, in a turbulent world, the ability to rethink and unlearn may matter more than our ability to think and learn. Yes, this becomes the heart of our work, not just learning, but unlearning. And many of us did this when we came to this center. We were unlearning some things that we had learned as a child about religion and belief systems. So it's time to change our mind, to unlearn and have courage. History, it shows us that there are people who challenged accepted beliefs, and then they paid the price for it. So Galileo, for instance, decided that the Earth moved around the sun instead of the sun moving around the earth. And as he put this out there, they said it was heresy. And they put him in jail for the rest of his life because he was spreading untruth. And so he was imprisoned for telling a truth that he had discovered. And yet today we teach this to children because it is true. And I say this because if Galileo could be punished for a fact, imagine how difficult it can be for us to let go of an opinion that's soothing to us, that's a cherished belief of some kind about our center, our community, our families, our nation, or ourselves. How difficult is it to give up an opinion that is soothing to us, keeps us safe and warm? Ernest Holmes helps us here because he said we are to remain open at the top. We are to remain there. He insisted that science of mind was to be free from superstition, dogma. It was to be unbound and unlimited. And so this is an invitation that he issued to evolve, to be willing to say, I was wrong, or I've changed my mind, or maybe let me learn something new. Maybe let me relearn, unlearn that. So it's an invitation to humility in a way, because if I'm clinging to a belief that's no longer truthful in my mind, truth with a capital T, then I need to rethink it. Now, spiritual truth tells us there's one life, and that life's expressing through every single person, even the ones we don't like, even the ones we fear, even the ones who vote differently, love differently, and speak differently. The divine is the creative force. And Ernest Holmes writes, when we feel the people in whom we fail to find good are born of the same mind. Our inability to see their divine origin is our self-created stumbling block. That one kind of hit me hard when I read it, because it's hard sometimes to see that divine in people who have harmed you, or you see them doing harm. There's a Swami who put it this way, who says, if one can give up likes and dislikes, take that in, if you can give up the idea of likes and dislikes, the world doubles its space. There's no longer anything to dislike or like, and you're just free to be. So when we release our judgments, life expands. And there's another thing I read, that when we understand people's stories, when we understand where they have been, then everything that they are doing makes sense to us. We understand who they are. So here's an invitation for this week, and maybe for a chapter in our center. Spend time asking yourself, am I holding on too tightly? Is this an opinion? Is it a fact? I'm sure it's true, but have I examined it recently? Even if it is a fact, have you really looked at it and examined it again? Is it a truth, or is it something masquerading as truth because it's comfortable to me? And where have I resisted this information and chosen comfort over courage? Where can I be more open at the top, more willing to unlearn, more willing to meet others, especially those I disagree with compassion rather than certainty? Because if we want to create that world that works for all, it begins with creating a center that works for all. And that starts with not being right, but being open. It starts with not defending our opinions, but listening, not with clinging, but evolving. And our spiritual truth is unchanging. So there's the balance here. Our spiritual truth is unchanging, but we are not to be static. We are to be continuing to grow, to stretch, to deepen and awaken. So may we walk forward together, open at the top, open in the heart, and open to the infinite ways that Spirit is showing Can we do that? Open at the top, open in the heart, open to the infinite ways that Spirit shows up. Let's just take a breath and have a bit of a prayer. And I am going to invite you to take that deep breath and hold it briefly and let it out, perhaps with an ah. And as we come to the still point, we realize that this still point is where all things are and exist, and there is nothing else but it. That still point of Spirit. The still point where everything is. Everything. I'm reminded of how many angels can dance on the head of a pin. That still point is where the love, the peace, the joy. And so we just breathe in that place where we come to stillness. We come to the awareness of oneness. We come to the awareness of love. We come to the awareness of peace. It is that place where we can turn around 360 degrees and see everything is okay. Everything is all one. There is no need to be comforted because we are courageous at this still point where everything is. There is courage. So recognizing there is one mind, one presence, one power. It matters not what name we give it. It is one. And we recognize that we are part of that. I am part of that. You are part of that. Everything is a part of that. I cannot see and view anything that Spirit has not created. And therefore, it's up to me to turn my eyes and ears into viewers of love and peace, to change the way that I see all of this. And I invite you to join me, taking a breath and saying yes to the oneness, yes to whatever I see is Spirit in action. Who I am makes a difference. Who you are makes a difference. We're part of the whole. And as I know that it is possible for us to do everything that we can think of. We can unlearn. We can learn anew. We can see each other and talk to each other and understand each other if we're willing. And so I speak a word of willingness into this prayer, knowing that we have people here who are willing and so willing to be here to have everything running smoothly and perfectly. I am grateful. I am grateful for each person who has been in this center, whoever will be, whoever is here now. Because it teaches, each person teaches us something and allows us to be more and shows us more. So as I am grateful and I'm willing to release this prayer into a law that says yes, I simply say, and so it is. And we're really pretty on target here. I may come back up after our song with Lynn, because I have a little story I'd like to read to you. I wanted to read it to you for a couple weeks, but it was longer than I thought would fit in the whole talk. So I may do that today. I'm unlearning.
Okay, we're going to share this beautiful song. It's called
Peace Date by Nancy Baudet and Nur Felice. And there is a repetitive line in the chorus, "You and I are light in the darkness." If you'd like to sing along with us, that'd be great.
Hold on, love is on its way. Hold on, just another day. If we let the fire burn high, illuminate our whole lives, the love we shine will never die. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. Freedom isn't far away. Freedom will be the ones to say, rise up and sing against hate. Why don't we make a peace state a sacred bond that will never break? You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. It's time to open our eyes and realize we're all human. The essence of love, we're all chosen for this path, this life, this road, the truth spoken. Don't wait, let's make a peace state. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are.
Woohoo, thank you. Let's give them more like that. I just love that song too. Yes. You know, this story that I'm going to read to you just captivated me. So I know Terry always wants to tell us, but we're going to read a story today. We're going to read a story. So I invite you to settle in. It's a story by John Rodell. And if you want to close your eyes, you can. If you're happy just seeing us here, for me, sometimes closing my eyes lets me focus a little bit more, but it's up to you. The story. The cocktail party is moving all around me while I am sitting awkwardly in a chair in the corner of the room, writing this poem out on my phone. Everyone is so excited about the weather and their latest vacation and the newest cars and how they're planning on voting. I'm a little jealous because right now I'm only obsessed with the encounter I had yesterday when my neighbor knocked on my front door to ask me why I am letting my weeds overtake my planters in my front and backyard. You could grow a really vibrant garden, he offered without asking me. I responded with a melodramatic thoughtfulness, like I was considering a treaty that had geographical ramifications. He pointed to his row of flowers that were exploding out of his nearby garden like fireworks. His carefully curated bouquet looked like they were ready to be pinup models in a flower magazine. His garden was so organized, his flowers were so uniform. The petals on each bud standing firm at attention like a boot camp privates waiting for inspection from their foamy-mouthed drill sergeant. I could not believe how incredible the posture was for my neighbor's flowers. Then he gestured to my planter that looked like it belonged out in front of a haunted house. He asked me to imagine how beautiful my planters would look if I just put a little effort into them. I put my hands in my pockets and secretly dug my fingers into my thighs because I knew what I had to say next, and I knew how my neighbor would respond. I said, well, maybe since the weeds are flowering, they're actually flowers. I swear I could hear my neighbor's flowers gasp. The moment between us took a deep breath. That is an insult to actual flowers, he said with a straight face. I spent the next 5 minutes trying to explain that I wasn't trying to assault the flowers, that I just wanted to make space for the possibility that maybe he shouldn't judge a gardener by their blossoms. Perhaps, just perhaps, one person's weed is another person's wonder. He left the conversation the way he came into it, unannounced. An hour later, I found a huge bottle of weed killer on my porch. My flowering weeds quivered as I picked it up, but I winked at them and told them that they were safe with me. And I bought the bottle of poison inside my house like an unwanted fruitcake and meditated on all the ways that we humans unintentionally pass out poison to kill what annoys us in each other. Now, a day later, I am here like a bit of a misfit at this cocktail party among all these flowering people who seem to be so much further ahead of me on the board game of existence. Everyone is exchanging stories of job promotions and their kids' test scores, and I'm sitting here on my phone writing about blooming weeds who didn't ask to be called useless. They just asked to sunbathe under the same light as roses do, and I think that is so lovely. The end. So I will open the microphone if anyone has anything they want to say. Burning. I don't have a burning question of any kind. I'm just glad to be here. I see Joyce is stretching her arms out. Our little minion back there.
I had that situation happen when I was living in Dallas. This was many years ago when my husband and I moved to Dallas, and we had lived all over the place. And I was in a duplex. And when he was gone, I remember talking with the neighbor more. And one day she came to me and she said, what are you going to do about the weeds in your yard? And I said, what weeds? And she said, those blue flowers, they're weeds. You should be getting rid of them. I said, I just thought they were pretty flowers. So that really brought home what I had experienced a long time ago. And I think I may have pulled them up, but reluctantly. Yeah. But like you say, one person's weeds is another person's flowers, and they were pretty weeds.
Okay, Stephanie, Jen has something, and then Stephanie.
couple things came to me about some of the things that Faith said in regards to spiritual truth. And I agree that spiritual truth is unchanging, and yet we experience it differently as we evolve and our understanding expands. And so to me, there's always another layer somehow to spiritual truth. And I love that because it's a never-ending process of having revelations. The other thing I wanted to mention is when Faith was talking about all of our gifts and talents and the way we show up and how we contribute to this community, I just want to say that from my experience, if there's something that you have always wanted to offer a spiritual community, if there's, it can be something small, it can be something bigger that's more of a project. This is a good community to support you. It's been a good community for me to be supported in the many things that I've offered here over the years. So think about that.
Okay. Thank you. And welcome.
Thank you. So I thought this would be a quick way to introduce myself to everyone all at once. Plus, I could tell a little story. So my name is Robin Hood. My last name is really Hood. And I just relocated here from the West Coast. I've only been here about a week. I got a job, that's the reason, the usual reason. And anyway, so I have a very deep, close relationship with Spirit. I really love God with all my heart and the Divine Mother. And I've meditated for at least 20 years. Very deep, committed meditation practice. And what I've learned from her love for me and my relationship with her is that the more that I release judgment within myself, which includes inner healing and a journey deep within myself, the more that I automatically love other people more and don't judge them in those same ways that I release the judgment within myself for myself. And that love and joy come from that journey. It's like as you allow those fears and those traumas and those mental programming and cultural programming to just be loved away, that it just opens the door for what's natural, which is that we love and accept others and ourselves. So
Thank you. Thank you and welcome. Nice to have you here. Okay, we're going to move on, and you're all invited to stay for lunch today. And I know Stephanie's going to say that too.
Okay. Now is the time in our service when we welcome new guests. We used to put this like right at the beginning, but then if people come in late, as people do, myself included even, I gotta say, even today I was a little late, but we moved it to the end just so everyone would have a chance. So if you want to stand up and introduce yourself, you can come up here to the mic and be recorded for eternity, or you can just stay at your seat and talk to us and you won't be recorded. If you would like to say your name and how you found us. If you would like to. On where? Oh, great. Thanks. You can stay there. You can come up here and.
Hi, everyone. I'm actually coming from another church. I just felt like I needed more of the Spirit in me. So I came from the Center of Spiritual Enlightenment, and I felt like I just needed more charging for my battery. So,
thank you. And what is your name?
my name is Jennifer.
Thank you. If you want, you can fill out a guest card here. You can also do this online if you're watching us online. And at least if you give us your email, then I can send you a newsletter, letting you know all the things that are happening here. And let me see. Oh, there's a QR code. And now we're moving on to our gifts and offerings. We are a tithing community, and we rely on tithes and gifts from our congregation. So please know that your presence, as well as the love, time, talent, and treasure that you bring, is a gift to our community, and we are so grateful. There are several ways you can give. If you're in person, feel free to drop your donation in the basket over there. If you're online, you can scan the QR code or visit celebrationcenter.org and click on the Give button. And of course, you can always mail in your gift. And so I'd like us to read our giving affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And now to bless our gifts. Divine light, as an expression of the One, permeates the universe. I am an expression of this divine light. I know that all of you are an expression of this divine light, as is our center. These gifts that our center receives make our light stronger and brighter to reach all in need of illumination on all levels. I am grateful for this opportunity. We are grateful to be an agent of this light. And we release these words into the universe, and so it is. Announcements. Today, after the service, we're having our annual meeting where we're going to vote on the budget, and I don't know, I think Terry has some other fun stuff for us to do too. We're voting on the budget for next year for voting members, but all are welcome. But before that, because we wanted to kind of, make sure people were fortified for the vote, we have a light lunch for you. So all are welcome to stay, even if you're going to sneak out before the annual meeting. Just take advantage of it. And we don't have anything planned after service for the next 2 weeks, but it's Thanksgiving before and after. So, but then the first Sunday of the month of December, we will be doing our monthly healing group after our gathering. Yeah. Okay, and now back to Lynn and Jen.
Okay, we're going to sing a song, Down in My Soul by Jan Garrett and J.D. Martin. And if you feel like standing and singing with us, we would love it.
It's an easy one, call and response.
Yeah, so here we go. And we're going to sing Each Day is a New Day on that second one, but just follow me. Here we go. I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. Each day's a new day.
Each day's a new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
Each day's a new day.
Each day's a new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
Each day's a new day.
Each day's a new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence
The silence
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I love the silence
I love the silence
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the silence
I love the silence
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. Sorry. Here we go. I feel the power
I feel the power
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I feel the power
I feel the power
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I feel the power
I feel the power
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. Yeah, the whole wide world is my home. One more time. And the whole wide world is my home.
Arms up to receive this energy. I see the divine in myself and in every person I meet.
I see the divine in myself and every person I meet.
With courage, curiosity, and compassion,
Courage, curiosity, and compassion.
I remain open at the top.
I remain open at the top.
And so it is.
So it is.
Yay. Yay. Stay for lunch.